western Chesterfield, so around Midlothian, back through Amelia into Nottoway County. Watch out around Blackstone. I know you guys around Crew and out towards Burkeville have been getting some heavy rain. No severe weather currently happening here. We earlier had a tornado warning in Powhatan County, but at least right now we're not seeing any spin-ups along this line. However, we do have the area farther to the south where we do have rotation on a cell coming out of North Carolina into southern Brunswick County. You guys are under that tornado warning until 3:15 this afternoon. Let's get in much tighter because I want to show you some highways and some roadways of areas that could be impacted here in southern Brunswick County. If you live in South Hill, you guys are in the clear. There's a very small portion of southeastern Mecklenburg County where you do have the warning. It's east of Interstate 85 in Mecklenburg, but it's really more focused here in southern Brunswick County. And I'm going to go in even a little bit tighter because I want to see some of the highways here. Possible areas that could be impacted by this particular storm. So you can see, can't quite read that because of the banner there, but this is Robinson Ferry Road. There's Joyceville. If you live in any of these areas, there's Oak Grove Road in southern Brunswick County. Let's see if we can find some other street names here. So let me make sure I click that. See if we can get that right there. All right, I'm going to try that one more time. For some reason, it's not clicking for me. But you get the idea. Southern Brunswick County here, we have that potential warning or that potential tornado moving to the northeast fairly quickly. And for some reason, I've lost my button here. Let's try that one more time. There we go. Okay, it's working now. All right, so you can see the tornadic warning storm. Again, it's still down here in North Carolina. It is south and east of Interstate 85. Let's look at our storm relative velocity because what we're looking for is, here's the green and red colors coming together closely on the radar. And there you see the red and the green right in there. So this is where that circulation would be, right along the Brunswick-Mecklenburg County line, and it's moving very quickly to the northeast of 55. So basically, if you live across the southern half of Brunswick County, you are under a tornado warning until 3:15 this afternoon. This is just radar indicated. It is not a confirmed tornado that we've seen, but it's an individual cell in advance of the main line of shower and thunderstorm activity. And oftentimes you have to watch these very closely. They can spin up. They could produce a brief tornado. It may touch down at any time. So you have to exercise your safety plan here if you live in southern portions of Brunswick County. Let's go back to our relative velocity. And again, that's the correlation coefficient. We want to look at the velocity. I'm going to do a little query here to see if we can find how much shear we've got right in here. We'll just do a little test. Okay, so this is about 45 miles per hour of gate-to-gate shear. That's not particularly strong. And here's the latest scan. You see the red is not quite as well indicated there. So it may be cycling down just a bit as it crosses now into Virginia. So the area of circulation is now moving away from southeastern Mecklenburg. It is now coming into southern Brunswick County. So if you live in southern Brunswick, you need to be getting into your safe space right now. So there you can see it's not even as well defined on the regular reflectivity of the radar here. Typically, it can be more difficult to see these circulations. A lot of our tornadoes in Virginia can be rain-wrapped, and so they're not easily discernible on the regular view of the radar, which is what we're looking at right now, and that's why we use our velocity product, which allows us to peer inside the storm and look at the behavior of the winds. And what we do still see is at least a weak area of circulation coming out of North Carolina into southwestern, the far southwestern tip of Brunswick County. Okay, so that's what we're looking at right there. Go back to the radar view. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. I want to give you guys here a little better idea where just some of these communities that could potentially be impacted. So anywhere, Joyceville, if you live in Joyceville, you guys need to be getting into your safe space. Along Robinson Ferry Road right there, you all need to be getting into your safe space. If you live around Ancum, be prepared for a possible tornado. So you want to go to an interior hallway, bathroom, or closet. on the lowest floor of your home. That's going to offer you the greatest amount of protection from this possible tornado. Let's go back to our velocity. And again, we're looking at a storm that is very near Joyceville. So it's kind of a broad area of rotation, but it looks like that would be somewhere near the Joyceville area. This is the latest scan. It does not look particularly strong. And my hope is this would not touch the ground, but it could. It could strengthen up very quickly and put down a brief tornado. So we want you to pretend, okay, this is really the thing, and I need to get to my safe space. I need to go to the basement now. I need to go to that interior hallway, bathroom, or closet on the lowest floor of your home. So if you live along Ebony Road, Robinson Ferry Road, you all need to be getting into your safe space. There's Barker Crossroads. There's Dry Bread Road. Okay, if you live in that area, you folks need to be getting into your safe space. There's Robinson Ferry Road that extends all the way up towards the town of Merchant. There is the town of Brunswick here along Route 46. Okay, if I lived in that area, I would also exercise my safety plan at this point and then get into that interior hallway, bathroom, or closet. Megan, you got some more information?
We have a new severe thunderstorm warning. This is towards our north. This is what was left over from the tornado warning storm from Powhatan County. This is now really still moving very quickly to the northeast at 50 miles per hour, and this severe thunderstorm warns storm in the area you see highlighted in yellow. This goes until 3:45. So this is yet again moving very quickly to the northeast at 50 miles per hour. If you are in Ashland, you are seeing the strongest wind gusts. We're looking at 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and upwards of quarter-size hail with this storm. Does include Hanover County, King William County, Mangohick, you're included in this. Also King and Queen County. So right along the county line here from King William into King and Queen, we will be tracking this storm as it races to the northeast here. And again, this warning set to expire at 3:45. And we have a lot of heavy rain contained with this storm as well, stretching all the way from just about Beaver Dam into Ashland, close to Doswell, right along I-95 is where the strongest winds, damaging winds possible as this crosses I-95 and makes its way into central and then also eastern Hanover County. Mechanicsville is included in this warning, as well as the western part of King William County. So Mangohick, we have damaging winds that are approaching your area. So that's the severe thunderstorm warning. A lot of heavy rain you may be hearing now in western Chesterfield County down into eastern Powhatan, or eastern Amelia rather. Still watching this tornado warning storm. This is down in the southern part of Brunswick County, and this warning still ongoing until 3:15. We have not seen any confirmation of any tornado that is or has been produced, but it does show characteristics that we may end up seeing a tornado. So if you are in southern Brunswick County, just make sure you're getting into your safe place right away. That's the lowest room in your home or the lowest floor of your home, away from windows, be it a closet, be it a bathroom. This is where you want to be. And we are going to continue to track this storm as it also races towards the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So Totaro, you need to get into your safe place right now. And we are watching this whole line as it continues to track towards the east, and we'll continue to provide you updates as we go through the remainder of the afternoon. But right now I want to toss it over to First Look at 3.
On your side, 12 News starts with breaking news.
Breaking now at 3, a tornado warning right now for parts of the viewing area. This involves the same line of storms that has already produced severe weather across the U.S. It's the reason we're bringing you live team coverage, but first, let's get a closer look at this forecast from Megan and Ross.
Thank you so much, Franklin. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of the metro Richmond area right now. We also have a tornado warning in the southern half of Brunswick County. That goes until 3:15 this afternoon. So the potential is there. We have a tornado watch for a large part of the area until 7 o'clock this evening. But right now we're looking at some of the most significant weather coming through central Virginia. Let's go to our product here. Is this weather 2? Hopefully it is. Do we have weather 2 up there for me? We're going to see. I want to show you the conditions that we have down to the south, because it's the area down here closer to the North Carolina border where we do have a tornado warning that goes until 3:15 this afternoon. Let's go in a little bit tighter, and you can see that cell there. It has actually just come into the Brunswick County area within the last few minutes. And there's that circulation. It doesn't look as strong as it did when it was in North Carolina, and we're watching it track to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour, so it's on the move very, very quickly. If there is a tornado there, and we want you to pretend that there is, because it could develop very quickly when it's circulating, when it's rotating like it has been. That could happen very quickly. Get to your interior hallway, bathroom, or closet. Let's take a look at our velocity, because a lot of times we have these rain-wrapped tornadoes in Virginia. There's a lot of rain, but you don't now see here, we see a little bit better of the reds and greens coming together. So let me zoom in to southern Brunswick County, and Megan's going to talk to you a little bit more about that severe thunderstorm warning affecting Metro Richmond right now. No tornado warning with that, but north and west side of the metro seeing a potential for damaging wind gusts. Now, as we get down into Brunswick County, there is some semblance of a circulation very near the Ancrum area. So Ancrum Road, there is Route 46. If you live in Brunswick, you all need to be getting into your safe space right now. It is coming up a little bit closer to the Brunswick area. Let me zoom back out here and show you that there's Route 46. There's Brunswick, there's Ancrum. It is moving to the northeast very quickly at 55 miles per hour. Let's do a little query. Let's check and see how strong that rotation is. And again, we have the greens and reds pretty close together there. And we've got some shear, not particularly strong is what I'm seeing, but nonetheless, there's a broad area of circulation now right near Route 46, near the Ancrum area in southern Brunswick County, moving to the northeast at 55. So let's now zoom out just a little bit. I want to put a track on this for you so that we can see who's next in line. And basically, I'm going to track that area of rotation. And we'll move this out of the way here. It's moving so fast that we have to kind of broaden out the view so that we're even able to track it for you. So I'm going to put a cone on here, and you can see it's tracking to the northeast, and I'm tracking that center point where we're seeing the greatest potential for rotation, moving northeast at 55. So again, I'm kind of running out of real estate here. I'm going to have to redo that again. So let's clear it. I'm going to have to go back out a little bit further. You can see how fast it is moving. So basically southern Brunswick County, if it continues, it will move through the eastern part of the county. I'm going to put a cone on it. And again, I'm tracking it from the area of greatest rotation. So you see it's moving northeast at about 55 miles per hour. There we go. Okay, so if you live around Brunswick, it's actually there right now, very close to the Brunswick area, around Powelton by 309. Totaro by 318, Fields Crossroads by 328. So kind of a rural portion of eastern Brunswick County, but if you live basically southern or eastern Brunswick County, you have a potential tornado. It is radar indicated. We're not getting any confirmations that I have heard of a tornado on the ground, but certainly there is some rotation. It could spin up quickly. It's in an environment in advance of this approaching cold front. There is enough shear or spin in the atmosphere that this could spin up a little bit more quickly as it tracks to the northeast. At least right now, I don't see any indication that it seems to be getting stronger, but it's in the southwestern corner of that cell. We'll zoom in again a little bit more closely because I want you to get your bearings here if you are a viewer who lives here in southern Brunswick County. So there's Ancrum, there's Powelton. So if you live in Powelton, again, I would be prepared for a possible tornado there. And it's continuing off to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. Let's look at the warning. The warning goes until 3:15. Look at some other areas here. There's Gasburg Road. Again, it's starting to lift north of that area. There's Robinson Ferry Road, eventually coming up towards the Brunswick area, anywhere along Route 46. In southern Brunswick County, this is an area where you need to be seeking shelter. Just to remind you, we have a tornado watch for just about the entire viewing area until 7 o'clock this evening. The exception is our northern and western counties. Just a reminder, when there is a tornado warning, a basement is the best place to be. A lot of us don't have that. So you want to get to the interior hallway, bathroom, or closet on the lowest floor of your home. Basically get to the center point of the house away from the windows. That will offer you the greatest amount of protection. We now have a tornado warning I see up here in Hanover County. And for more on that, here's Megan.
Thanks, Ross. New tornado warning. This is a first alert for Hanover County. This goes until 3:30 this afternoon. So this is what is contained also in the severe thunderstorm warning. So it's an area I've been watching, and now if you are in a central Hanover County, very close to well, let me put my phone down here. It's moving very quickly to the northeast at 55 miles per hour, and it is headed towards, again, Hanover 310, Mango Hick around 315. So that takes it into King William County very quickly. So if you're in any areas, including Chamberlain, Atlee, Ashcake, Hanover Airport, and Etna Mills. If any of these are areas where you live or where your loved ones or friends live, make sure that you're getting into your safe place. This is a new tornado warned storm here. This box that is highlighted in red, it looks like the worst part of this storm has just now passed I-95, and it's looking very close to Route 301. With this new tornado warned storm, you may have got the warning as well for Henrico, but it looks like the worst part of this storm is just to the north, but it's tracking to the northeast, so that's why King William County is included in this warning. Mango Hick, you are in the direct line or path of this storm that is moving very quickly to the northeast. So if you're in Mango Hick and King William County, make sure that you're getting into your safe place. Zoomed in close here, you can see this is why we look at the velocity picture. Whenever we see these couplets, they're called, the reds and greens, shows us a better idea of where we could be seeing rotation. We have not had a confirmed report of a tornado, but it is possible. And this is the area we're most concerned of right now is Atlee. If you are in Atlee right now, make sure that you are getting into your safe place, getting into the lowest floor of your home away from windows, get into a closet, get into a bathroom. If you have a multi-story at home, make sure you're getting into the lowest level right now. This is Atlee. Just to the north or right along Atlee Road here, we have Route 301. This storm's going to be moving very quickly to the northeast. So if you're in Buckeye, River Road, this is Peaks in Hanover County. You want to make sure that you're getting into your safe place. This is the area we're watching very closely here. So it's, oh, you can see the latest radar scan here giving us the latest information. This is very close to Peaks. It looks like the worst part of this storm is now past Atlee. We're right along 301 here, making its way closer to Buckeye. You can see Studley Road. This is right along Studley Road. This is Route 301 in Hanover County, and then we also have River Road. So if you're in the community of Buckeye, along Studley Road, I need you to get into your safe place. We're looking at damaging winds with the potential of a tornado here. We have not had confirmation, but you need to make sure that you are getting into your safe place right now. This is the latest or newest tornado warned storm that goes until 3:30. It's moving very quickly. If you're watching from King William County or have friends and family in King William County, make sure that they're getting into their safe place as well. This area that we're watching very closely, the potential of a tornado is going to continue to track to the northeast into King William County next. So very close to Mango Hick. Make sure that you're executing your tornado precautions right now. You saw the latest information almost across 301 right now, Route 301. So again, the worst part of the storm is past Atlee. It's very close to Peaks. It looks like it's going to go really right along Studley Road here. We have River Road. This is the area we're watching from River Road to Buckeye. That's where we need to be making sure we're getting into our safe place in Hanover County. This storm is moving very quickly, so it is going to be in King William County very quickly. So if you're in King William County, close to Mango Hick, if you're anywhere south of Route 30 in King William County, you need to make sure that you're getting into your safe place. River Road here, right where we're seeing these reds and greens, that's where we always have the most concern for that potential that we could have a tornado that could form. Again, we do not have confirmation that it's happened, but we need to treat it as such because it could happen. So that is the latest with the Hanover warned storm. I do want to get back down into our second tornado warned storm down into Brunswick County. Check on the latest with that. If you're in southern Brunswick County, make sure that you're still in your safe place. This warning is still in store for us until 3:15. So it's in the southern part of Brunswick County. Does not look nearly as impressive as the one in Hanover County, but nonetheless, we're looking at the potential for some damaging wind with the radar picture on here, just to the south of Powhatan. So this is right along Route 46 here. So right in this area, right over Route 46, you need to make sure that you're in your safe place in southern Brunswick County. It has not been extended into western Greensville County, but I would caution Powhatan in the eastern side of Brunswick County. Just make sure that you are in your safe place as this continues to track very quickly to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour as well. So that's the storm in Brunswick County, still set to expire at 3:15. The good news with that, we have not seen that expand or extend. It doesn't have that strong couplet. We'll go back to the tornado warned storm in Hanover County and also King William County. So if you are in the eastern part of Hanover County, you need to make sure that you're getting into your safe place. Also, King William County, make sure that you're getting into your safe place. Buckeye, here's River Road, and we will pan just a little bit here. This is the area we're watching. So we have Studley Road in Hanover County, we have Buckeye, and this storm right here is moving to the northeast very quickly. Even River Road up here. Seeing the potential of some damaging wind gusts. Can't even rule out some quarter-size hail contained with this. The worst part of the storm now past Ashcake, but it is now just about, this is the county line of King William. So we'll watch as this storm continues to track very quickly to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So if you're in King William County, again, make sure that you're getting into your safe place. It looks like it's going to stay just to the north of Route 360 as it heads into King William County. And with the latest information behind the scenes, here's Ross.
Yeah, thank you so much, Meg. Yeah, we're looking at Mangohick, National Weather Service tagging that they're arriving there by about 3:15. So if you live in Mangohick in King William County, the storm should be very near your neighborhood by 3:15 p.m. this afternoon. And there you see northern Henrico now in the clear, but it's Hanover County up into King William County where we are looking at that potential for a possible tornado. Let's go back in here and zoom in, and I'll show you what the storm is looking like as it continues to track to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. This one a little bit slower than some of the others we've seen this afternoon, but nonetheless, some very, very quick movement off to the northeast. And there you can see Mangohick right there. Again, the storm right to the northeast of Mechanicsville, and it's clearly rain-wrapped if there is indeed a tornado there. And we certainly see some circulation along this line. We're getting some brief spin-ups along the line, and it could be a very brief but short-lived tornado. That is what the National Weather Service is looking at, and you can see our box here that indicates where the greatest potential is for that tornado as it moves across the Hanover County line into King William County. So again, around Mangohick, the storm very likely on your doorstep right now. You're getting the heavy rain, but the potential is there for a tornado as well. Let's check the storm relative velocity, and you can see kind of a broad area of rotation there. And there we go, right along the King William and also the Hanover County line, tracking off to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. Let me zoom in a little bit closer so we can see some of the street level mapping there and also take a look at some of the highways in the area. So there we have Corinth Fork. All right, so this area, you see the bright red and the green kind of close together. That's where we have the potential of a quick spin up near River Road, just north and east of there now, coming up towards Corinth Fork. Let's pan up a little bit farther. Again, we're moving up into King William County. So there's the town of King William. There is Route 30. So if you live along Route 30, anywhere from Mangohick over to Epworth, there's a possibility of a quick spin-up tornado in this area. So you want to get to that interior safe space on the lowest floor of your home, an interior hallway, bathroom, closet. You want to stay away from the windows, keep as many walls between you and the thunderstorm that you can get. Okay, this is tracking to the northeast very quickly, so you don't have a lot of time to prepare. You can take your 12 on your side First Alert weather map with you, or weather app with you, into that safe space. We will continue to keep you updated there. But from Mangohick over to Epworth, that's an area that we're looking at for a possible tornado. Corinth Fork, we can actually do a little bit, let me see if I can get some of these streets even a little bit farther down. I'll do my best here, see what that street might be. Okay, so that's Nelson's Bridge Road. As we get into King William County, that's Nelson's Bridge Road right there. See if there's Towneek Farm Road. okay, in this area, that potential is there for a possible tornado as we come up into King William County. It is tracking to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. We'll go back to the radar view. And again, if you just looked at that, it would be very confusing. You see this big blob of yellow and red. There's some very heavy rain in here, but within that area of heavy rain, there's the potential for some rotating winds here that could potentially put down a tornado. Let's go back out just a little bit so I can give you some perspective. We're moving out of Hanover County now. If you live in Mechanicsville, you're in the clear. This is well north of you now. But if you live from Mangohick over to Epworth, you are not in the clear. That storm possibly producing a tornado is moving right into that area. Again, rain wrapped. You see that box? This is our tornado warned box there. That shows you the extent, the greatest potential that there could be a tornado in that zone from Mangohick down to Enfield. It will continue tracking to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. So let's go back to our velocity. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so we can put a track on this for you. It's moving very quickly to the northeast at 45. And you can kind of see the greens and reds. See that little kink right there? That's most likely where we may have a little spin up, where you have the brighter red and the green close together. It's moving off to the northeast right there. So I'm going to need to zoom out one more time. Zoom that out one more time for you. Let's try that one more time. Sometimes the equipment works, sometimes it doesn't. For some reason it's not doing it. Let's try it one more time. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to put a cone on there. It's moving northeast at 45, so right in that zone right there, northeast at 45 miles per hour. Again, you can see that if it continues at this speed, eventually coming up into western King and Queen County, even up into Essex County towards the Tappahannock area. So we'll have to watch out for that potential there. So let's move this out of the way so you can see around Corinth Fork. We were talking about Corinth Fork by 3:18, so that's right now. Epworth by 3:21 within the next few minutes. Beulahville by 3:28. Cawthornville by 3:35. So that's getting up here into King and Queen and eventually up into Essex County. If it were to hold together, would be there by around 3:43 this afternoon. Okay, that's based on the current movement at 45 miles per hour to the northeast. So just to show you again, the warning box, that does include Hanover County, although the storm has moved out of Hanover County now. It's up into King William County, and it will continue to track to the northeast. We will have to see. So far it has not been extended up into King and Queen or Essex County, but if you live in those areas, especially the western half of King and Queen into central Essex County, be mindful that this storm may be warned as it continues to track to the northeast. Let's go back to our big picture, and then I'm going to show you the radar view. We want to see what's happening down here to the south. We have not forgotten about you folks down here. As we get down into Brunswick County, we're also keeping a close eye on our Greensville County viewers as well with this particular storm down to the south. I'm going to zoom in here. So that's right here. It's a severe thunderstorm warning down here. We no longer have a tornado warning in Brunswick County or Greensville County, but if you live from Emporia to the north in Greensville County, you have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. The potential is there for damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, not to mention some very heavy rain. We're not seeing a lot of lightning with this particular cell. There's one lightning strike, but it's not overly impressive in terms of that. And in terms of the hail tracker, I'm not seeing any evidence of big hail with that particular cell, but there could be some very strong winds with it as it continues off to the northeast very quickly on the order of 45 to 50 miles per hour. So if you live here in Sussex County, you all may be seeing a severe thunderstorm as we get closer to Stony Creek. Watch out for this area, but again, northern Greensville County from Emporia northward, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect. We'll go back to the big picture, and again, we are following the tornado warning, and that's why we're staying on the air. Now, the National Weather Service has expanded a severe thunderstorm warning for that area, so that tells me that they may not extend the tornado warning. It looks like a severe thunderstorm warning for western King and Queen, as we get into Essex County, and then also it looks like it's coming up into Richmond County now with that severe thunderstorm warning. It is even a portion of Westmoreland County under that warning, and far eastern Caroline County as well under a severe thunderstorm warning. Real quickly, and then I'm going to turn this over to Meg. She's looking at some data as well and probably has a little bit more information than I do, but we're still looking at this area right in here. And even if they were to drop that warning, which it looks like they might have, I think it's going to continue until 3:30, something could spin up very quickly again. So if you live anywhere in here, Western King William, up into Western King and Queen in Essex County, at the very least you have damaging wind potential with this particular line of storms as it tracks to the northeast, and a possible tornado could spin up very quickly as well. Meg?
All right, thanks, Ross. We have several warnings on the map here. I want to start with the wide picture. Ross just pointed out our newest severe thunderstorm warning. That is towards our north. That does include that line here, that kinky line where whenever you have kinks in the radar, that's where we have that potential where we could see some rotation. This is within the tornado warned storm, but this line here itself stretching from Hanover County up into King William County and then a little portion of eastern Caroline, that wind, it almost is like a backward C here, that has the capability of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts alone. And that warning does include the eastern parts of Caroline County. It does include almost all of Essex County. So if you're in Tappahannock, you are going to see this storm moving into your area very quickly to the northeast at easily 50 miles per hour. It does include King and Queen County and also includes Richmond County in the northern neck. So this severe storm is going to go over the Rappahannock River into Richmond County, and if it holds together, which it likely will, it could extend into Westmoreland County. So this latest warning is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This goes until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Putting a tracker on it as it races towards the northeast, it takes it towards Aylett by about 3:27. So the worst part of this storm, here's Aylett, and here's the heavy rain you're about to probably be feeling. Very strong winds, potentially some damaging wind gusts moving closer to Aylett. Takes it to Tappahannock by 3:41, over the Rappahannock River by 3:47. We're looking at the California area, 4:04. This is up into portions of Maryland, but closer to the bay. It'll be gone out of our area of the northern neck before 4 o'clock. It is just racing to the northeast. In and around the city of Richmond, it's just raining, nothing severe. So if you're looking out your window in Tuckahoe, it's pouring down rain. Not tracking anything severe on the west end or even the east end. Highland Springs, you're seeing just plain old rain. That is going to move right over I-64. The Varina, you're also just seeing some steady rain. The tornado warned storm is still in effect until 3:30. This does now almost include all of King William County. I think the worst of this has made its way out of Hanover. So we're watching this line here as it makes its way through King William County. We'll see if it's expanded. I do think with that severe thunderstorm warning, it may end up just being a damaging wind threat with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible. But as we zoom in closer to this area, this is right in the northern part of King William County. So Mango Hicks right here. This is going to continue to move into King and Queen County. And this is the velocity picture as we look at the potential to see some rotation. And there doesn't really look like sound, just couplets they're called, where we would potentially see that rotation. It's looking more of just red and green next to each other in a line, so that's more indicative of just very strong winds. But we will continue to watch that Mankin and then Aylett. You're about to see the damaging winds headed right in your direction. So 60-mile-per-hour winds will be possible with this storm. Very heavy rain. These aren't necessarily electrified. We're not seeing a lot of lightning with this, and I have also not seen any hail reports out of this just yet. So this is just a wind maker towards our northeast, and it's headed just about the worst of it past Mango Hick here, and it's about to cross Route 30. Mankin, and then we have Aylett, and then it's going to cross over the county line into King and Queen County next. And then as I put a tracker on that storm, again, Battery by about 3:42, Rappahannock River by about 4:01. So that area we're watching closely. Also want to touch base on our far southern counties as well. Still tracking a severe thunderstorm warned storm. That is in just about all of Greensville County, just to the north of Emporia. So we have Purdy right here in northern Greensville County, and we also have Jarrett in Sussex County. So just now seeing some rain in Jarrett in Sussex County, but the heaviest rain still back into the central part of Greensville County. This warning goes until 3:45. No longer is a tornado warning storm, but still has the capability of producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Can't rule out some hail contained with this storm as well. And it is just going to skirt, it looks like, to the north of Emporia as this also races towards the northeast into Sussex County next. So putting a tracker on that, Jarrett, again, it's really right on your doorstep, but the worst part of the storm looks closer to about 337. So that'll be the heaviest rain and also the strongest wind gusts. And then it takes it up towards Waverly if it does hold together by about 410. Widening out the picture, you can see a big temperature contrast. And really the areas that we're seeing the warmest air is where we're going to be watching again for the potential of more strong storms to develop. So widening out the picture, we'll go back to our northern counties here, tracking the latest of the severe warning storm that is moving into or through King William County here into King and Queen County. That's where the worst part of this storm, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible here. And it's stretching from, it looks like the worst, this is Mango Hick, watching this line here of red crossing over Route 30, and that's going to move into King and Queen County next. So it looks like the worst part of this line will stay just to the north of Stevensville, but it's moving very quickly to the northeast, so it's going to go through the northern half of King and Queen County, and then it's going to race into Essex County. So Tappahannock, you are going to see some very heavy rain, the potential of 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and then it'll cross over the Rappahannock River here and then make its way into Richmond County. So Warsaw and Richmond County, you're going to see some heavy rain and the potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well. Take a look at the hail tracker here. Again, not seeing any significant hail out of this storm. It is just mainly a wind producer. So the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds is not out of the question here. There's the tornado warning box, and it looks like the worst of it is now out of that tornado warning box. So that's why we have this severe thunderstorm warning for wind potential, damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour. So almost out of King William County, about to move into a King and Queen County. Again, if you're just to the north of Stevensville, if you're in Essex County, into areas like Tappahannock, I would make sure that you're just getting indoors. You don't want to be outside watching this as it approaches. And it'll move over the Rappahannock River into the northern neck with very strong winds, damaging wind gust potential of 60 miles per hour. So let's go back to our whole area. We can take a look at what's also happening towards our south. You can see it's a broken line here. So only a couple of showers in Dinwiddie County. We're seeing just a couple of showers in Chesterfield. Worst part of this is that this line that stretches through Caroline County down into eastern Hanover. Eastern Hanover, you are not in a severe warning storm, but you are seeing a good amount of rain. But even the eastern side of Caroline County, you're also potentially seeing some damaging wind, and that's going to lift up into northern Essex County, through Tappahannock in the northern, or in Essex County, and then make its way into the northern neck. So that severe thunderstorm warning will go until 4 o'clock, but these have been moving so quickly. So it's likely that it may be canceled earlier. But again, 60-mile-per-hour winds about to enter Essex County right now. It's just in the northern tip here of King and Queen County, and we'll continue to watch that as it races towards the northeast.
Exactly right, Meg. You know, if we look at the big picture on weather too, I'm really thinking that the greatest threat of severe weather from this point forward appears to be east of I-95 or right along the I-95 corridor out towards the bay. Now, as we look to the west, we have some showery weather here out to the west. In fact, let me show you some video. I think we had this from Fredericksburg a bit earlier, some very heavy rain up there. You can see this is a VDOT camera up around the Fredericksburg area. So definitely a lot of headlights on. People are slow going, and some of this very heavy rain moving through parts of the area. So if you have anybody that you know, any loved ones out there traveling home, tell them to be extra careful. Watch out for hydroplaning as well. When the rain comes down really heavy in a short period of time, there certainly can be that threat for some hydroplaning, and we want everybody to be very careful as you head home from work this afternoon. That potential for more heavy rain will be there. Let's go back to the radar picture over eastern Virginia. Again, as Meg was talking about, we have that severe thunderstorm warning in these communities north and east of Richmond until 4 o'clock this afternoon. We had a tornado warning earlier for Hanover County and King William County that has since expired. So some good news. We're not seeing any significant rotation in any part of central Virginia right now. I was just checking the velocity products off the air while Megan was talking, and I didn't see anything that was overly concerning at this point. But we definitely have the potential for damaging winds. You don't have to get a tornado to have some really nasty weather. And with a severe thunderstorm warning, you can get the winds that are greater than 60 miles per hour. And that's this area here to the northeast, where we do have that potential for some wind gusts to 60 miles per hour as you get up here to the northeast, especially coming up through western King and Queen, now up into Essex County. If you live around Tappahannock, right across the Rappahannock River into Richmond County, you have that potential for some damaging wind gusts along that particular line of storms. It's moving to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour, so it's racing off to the northeast. Let's look at that warning. It goes until 4 o'clock this afternoon, just to give you some of the very specifics. All the red area shaded there you see is actually the tornado watch that this does still cover a large part of the viewing area. That goes until 7 o'clock this evening. It will likely be trimmed back some, I think, as we go through the evening. But Essex, King and Queen, and Richmond counties, you're under that severe thunderstorm warning until 4 o'clock this afternoon. We are going to stay with you on the air until this threat passes. We're going to continue to watch these storms as they track off to the northeast very quickly. Let me zoom out just a little bit so we can get a broader picture here. I want to put a track on this line of storms as it continues off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So when I track this, it's going to move off the map, it looks like, into the Potomac River because it is moving so quickly. We just took a little bit of a power hit at the station. Felt that right there. If you notice a little flashes of light here in the studio, but there's that line of storms. We're watching it track off to the northeast at about 50 miles per hour. So again, moving very, very quickly. If you live in these areas, which I'm going to show you here in just 1 second, you need to make sure that you're inside. Anybody that you know that might be working outside, get inside a sturdy building, sturdy structure, because we'll have the potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds. So around Tappahannock, within the next 10 minutes, this line of storms should be in your area. Right along the Rappahannock River by 3:48. The town of California by 4:08. Drum Point by 4:14. And then Crapo by 4:31. So we're kind of moving out of Virginia at that point. But that's what we're looking at, that potential for damaging winds in those areas as we come up through western King and Queen, Essex County. The leading edge is where you're most likely to see the strongest winds, but coming up into Richmond County, coming across the Rappahannock into Richmond. Also watch out into Westmoreland County. It does cover a sliver of Westmoreland. That may be expanded a bit farther as well. We are watching out for you folks out here on the northern neck and middle peninsula as well. Let me take a look at the big picture and let's see what's happening down in Greensville County. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning down there until 3:45 this afternoon for a potential storm that could produce 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as well. This has been north of Emporia. It is now moving up into the Jarrett area. You can see there right along I-95. It will continue to track up into Sussex County. And we'll have to see if this holds together in terms of the warning. But Jarrett, definitely watch out for some strong wind gusts here. Crossing I-95. Looks like the core of that storm may pass just south of Stony Creek on I-95, and there's Route 40 there running from Stony Creek east. That severe storm, warned storm, may move across that area. It has not been expanded as of yet, and that particular warning goes for another 15 minutes. We'll have to wait and see if the National Weather Service extends that particular warning for a severe thunderstorm warning. A bit of good news here, we do not have any tornado warnings across our Channel 12 viewing area right now, but we are monitoring the radar very closely as we have these clusters of strong to severe thunderstorms, in particular where you do have that severe line of storms up here as we get up into Essex and King and Queen, and also up into portions of Westmoreland and Richmond counties. You do have the potential that there could be a spin up along that line at just about any time. So just keep that in mind. There might be a brief spin up. That's why the National Weather Service has a tornado watch until 7 o'clock this evening. It will probably be scaled back over the next couple of hours from west to east as the threat does diminish. But right now, if you live out towards the northern neck and middle peninsula, we are watching this area closely. As Meg mentioned, it's a broken line, so there's not a whole lot happening around the Tri-Cities, although we have an area of rain back through western Dinwiddie into southeastern Nottoway and eastern Lunenburg County. But the severe thunderstorm warned storm, that's in northern Greensville coming over into Sussex. That goes until 3:45, so about another 9 minutes or so. And then this cluster of potentially severe storms comes up through now King and Queen into Essex County. Watch out around Richmond County. You haven't gotten the worst of that weather yet. It's tracking to the northeast at about 45 miles per hour. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. And you can see around the Tappahannock area getting a lot of that heavy weather getting ready to move in. So if you live in Tappahannock, getting ready to see some very gusty winds, some very heavy rain. We're not seeing a lot of lightning with this. And at least right now, let me check the hail tracker, Meg. I really am not seeing too much in the way of hail here. For whatever reason, it's not working. But anyway, we'll let Meg take over.
All right, let's take a wide look here at what we are looking at across the area. We have the latest here down towards our south. I want to start down towards Greensville County. We've been watching behind the scenes that there may be some, just a little bit of some rotation trying to happen down into the central part of Emporia, but we have not seen anything transpire from that with the exception of just some damaging wind potential. So this is in northern Greensville County. This is up into portions of Sussex County. That's where we're seeing the worst part of this storm. So it's going to make its way over 301. This is right over Jarrett right now. 301 just now almost out of Greensville County with the exception of the northeast corner, seeing a lot of heavy rain and damaging wind potential. One lightning strike in the county here. This is Sussex County. This is still racing to the northeast very quickly, and the warning is most likely set to expire here. The warning box ends at Greensville County. We'll see if it extends into Sussex, but at this point, Greensville County, the worst is just about out of your area. Putting a tracker on it, moving to the northeast very quickly, 50 to 55 miles per hour. Generally how fast these storms have been moving throughout the afternoon. Takes it towards Henry by 3:48 and then takes it closer to Waverly by 4:22. And then there's another look at the velocity here at this point, just looking like a damaging wind threat. Up towards our northeastern counties, we've been watching this one closely. This is still capable of producing damaging winds upwards of 60 miles per hour. And the severe thunderstorm warning set to expire at 4 o'clock, and this is now just about in almost all of Essex County, and it will make its way right over the Rappahannock River into Richmond County in the northern neck. So if you are in Naylor's Beach or Warsaw, right along 360, we are going to be watching for damaging winds possible upwards of 60 miles per hour. Very heavy rain as well, and we'll continue to track these showers and storms for you right after this break.